Hi everybody, I'm Chef Jeffrey Gardner with Southern Kitchen. Today we're going to be making a little bit of a riff on a coq au vin. Coq au vin is chicken braised in red wine. It is a delicious, hearty, rustic stew. Let's get right to it. I've got an enameled cast iron skillet on about medium-low heat. I'm going to add some bacon that we've diced. These are going to provide some smoky base notes that are going to carry through the entire dish and then also serve as the fat in which we're going to cook our chicken. We're just going to stir this constantly and cook it gently on medium-low heat until the bacon has rendered its fat out and is nice and crispy. All right, this has been probably about 8 to 10 minutes. Our bacon is nice and crispy. We're going to transfer our bacon to a plate. We're going to leave the rendered bacon fat in the pan. Now let's talk chicken. In its most traditional form, coq au vin is made using an old rooster. Those aren't really too accessible much in this country, so we're going to use, to me, the most underutilized part of the chicken, bone-in thighs. So now we're going to season them with some salt, just plain kosher salt here. We're going to get both sides. Our oil is still hot. We've turned the heat up to about medium to medium high, and we're going to start placing our chicken in our pot skin side down. When you hear that sizzle, you know your pan is hot enough. This is a good sign. And so we'll just let this cook for about 5 to 6 minutes on one side until we have a nice golden brown crust. Then we're going to flip it over. Time to take our chicken out of the pot now. We're just going to keep it on the same plate in which we have our bacon. Both will go back into the pot momentarily. Now it's time to build the rest of our stew. We're going to turn our heat back down to about medium-low just to give it a little time to cool down. We've got some diced onion and some diced carrots. Add just a pinch of salt here to help draw out some of the moisture from the vegetables. We're just going to give this a stir until the carrots have slightly softened and the onions have turned translucent. While we still have a good amount of this rendered fat built up, we're going to add a little more aromatic flavor in here. So we've got some minced garlic and some chopped thyme. Just going to give this a stir for about 30 seconds till you can kind of smell the perfume of the garlic and thyme coming at you. Beautifully fragrant in here, so we're going to add some quartered cremini mushrooms, just washed and scrubbed of any dirt. We're going to stir and cook this until the mushrooms get soft. I want to add some baby pearl onions. We've blanched and peeled them. They are available frozen if that's your preference. While we have a little bit of this oil in the pot, I just want to get the onions nice and coated in some of this flavor that we've developed. A lot of recipes for coq au vin call for them to be added towards the end. I don't want the coq au vin police to come after me, but I like to add them at this stage. They can only soften and sweeten, deepen in flavor, so this is a perfect time to add them. While we still have a little bit of oil left in the pan, but everything is married together, we're going to add some tomato paste. This is going to be about 2 tablespoons worth. We're going to stir and toast the tomato paste until it turns from its dark red here to almost a rust or copper color. We want to deepen and develop and caramelize some of these flavors to where it's not just a reddish flavored cooking liquid, but a deep, robust part of the sauce. So as you can see now, the tomato paste has turned this beautiful, dark, kind of burnt orange color. Looks amazing. We're going to add a little bit of brandy or cognac to this. That's about 1/4 cup. Not enough to worry about generating a flame off of it, but we're just going to let some of the vapors burn off here. All this goes towards deepening the flavor of our stew. This will begin the deglazing process. Now it is time to return the chicken and the bacon to the pot. We're just going to nestle it down in here. Chicken's down in there. We're going to add the bacon. Any residual juices or drippings that may have come off, that's okay too. Now it's time to give our chicken a red wine bath. Now you have lots of options when it comes to red wine. I'm using a Pinot Noir. I like a little bit of a leaner, younger wine for this. Nothing too tannic. We're going to add the equivalent of about half a bottle. If you want to measure it out, it's about 2 cups. We're going to reduce this wine by almost 1/4 just to burn off some of that raw wine flavor and aroma, and then we're going to add our chicken broth. So as you can see here by the thickness of our sauce, our wine has reduced. Now we're going to add just a little bit of chicken broth or chicken stock to this, so to barely come up to the top of our chicken thighs. And now we're going to put this in a 250-degree oven, covered for about 45 minutes, just so our chicken can cook through all the way and absorb the flavors of this delicious sauce. After 45 minutes, we've taken this out of the oven. We're going to tighten our sauce up just a bit. We're going to bring this pot to a simmer over medium heat. I'll show you what we're going to use to thicken this. I've got a little bit of butter and a little bit of flour. It's about a tablespoon of each. We're just going to take a fork and mash this into a paste. Technical term for this is called beurre Marnier. It's really an uncooked roux. This is perfect for thickening gravies and soups and stews. So once everything's brought together, our sauce is coming up to a simmer, which is very important because nothing will reach its full thickening power until it hits a boil. We're just going to kind of evenly distribute this around our pot, and we'll use our wooden spoon just to stir it in. So our stew has thickened up to this beautiful, almost gravy-like consistency, so now it's time to serve. This would be great over something like mashed potatoes. I love it in its most traditional form, which is over buttered egg noodles. Just something to soak up all that wonderful braising liquid that we developed. I'm going to pull the chicken out one thigh at a time. And now we're just going to ladle this beautiful bacon, mushroom, pearl onion, and red wine sauce right over the top of the chicken thighs. Took a little bit of time to layer the flavors, but your patience and effort will be well rewarded. And just for a little contrast and some freshness, we'll garnish this with just some chopped fresh parsley. And there you have it, coq au vin. For more recipes like this, visit springermtn.com. Thanks for watching.